Hey guys, it's your girl Carly, the messy introvert.
And if you are interested in watching
we'll
this
be
show
reviewing
yourself,
Love
you
and
can
Marriage
find it on
Huntsville,
OWN.
Season 7, Episode 2. And the name of this episode is So Ladylike, and the so is spelled S-A-U, as in Marceau. And
So,
like, comment, and
doing a little
subscribe.
play on
Let's get
words.
into it. So on the first scene, we start off at Kiki's house. Mel and Kiki are still discussing the Home Depot allegations against Kiki for theft. And Mel is just letting Kiki know that Tiffany had a few things to say. She was concerned about their brand being associated with Kiki. And, Kiki was a little bit thrown back. She said that she didn't know that her relationship with Tiffany was that bad, that Tiffany would just think the worst of her and not even reach out to see if the story was true or anything like that. She was just automatically just ready to cut her off. And yeah, Mel was just, listening to Kiki. And Kiki said that she does understand how everyone can think that she has relapsed, but she feels great. She feels confident. Mel even asked her, well, is it you in the video? And Kiki was like, I can't say nothing right now. My attorney said I can't say anything about the case. I can't confirm or deny if it is me or not on the news. But I'm not worried about it. So, Mel was like, girl, you gonna be all right. It was so funny. It was like, girl, you gonna be all right. That was funny. I don't know why. That just killed me when she said it. But yeah. So Kiki was just explaining that she's feeling better. She's feeling okay. She has not relapsed at all. She said, and she just really surprised that Tisha was the last person to actually reach out to her. Once this came out, and Mel was actually the first. And Mel was just like, she actually came to Tisha's defense. She was like, listen, you and Tisha has had a rough year. You guys are just getting back to, having a decent relationship as cousins. Y'all are building that relationship as cousins again. So for you to expect her to, drop everything and run to you and make sure you're okay, that's, unrealistic, expectations. Tisha has to rebuild her trust with you and, vice versa. So, you know, Kiki was like, yeah, because you can't expect people to do, what you would do. And Mel was like, well, when all this thing was going down with Tisha and her mama and Marceau cheating and all these things going on, did you reach out to, Tisha and make sure she was okay? And Kiki was like, I don't feel comfortable, reaching out to Tisha about anything when it comes to Marceau. And Melanie had a point there. Like, you can't really be upset that Tisha hasn't reached out to you in your most vulnerable and, lowest moments when, you don't do it either. So that just shows you where your relationship really is right now. And if you don't like it, you just got to work on it. You got to, put in that work to get that relationship that you desire, because it ain't that way for nothing. So it takes two to build a relationship. So basically we ended that scene with Melanie letting her know that she was actually invited to Tiffany's so we'll see if she comes to the party. Ace. But we're gonna move on to the next scene. And in this next scene, we have Tisha and Marceau at the home they're renovating and waiting to move into. And I just want to say this whole back and forth went on way too long. And it was just, I hated it. I felt that it was so fake. I feel like they had nothing to talk about. So they decided to come up with this argument about spending money. Um, but I see Tisha asked Marcel about the lawsuit that he's going through right now. And he just quickly said that, he didn't go to court. He went to a deposition and, um, he's taking it to trial, and, when you sue, you always get a countersuit. So that's what he's trying to, spin this into. And he's trying to just seem very confident, like he's not really worried about it at all. but that look he was giving Tisha and the way his head instantly started hurting, I felt like he got an instant migraine when she brought that up. So he's talking about it was a brain freeze. Talking about that smoothie that Letitia just brought him that's probably fully melted. He's talking about, that gave him a brain freeze. But I think it was that conversation that, made his brain want to jump out his skull. Anyways, so I just was really annoyed by this conversation. They was talking about money as if they had to, rub two nickels together to just get through day-to-day life. Marcel had a nerve to talk about renting out some furniture from Aaron's. And then at the end, Letitia says, she's questioning Marcel about his spending because she wants to get a new SUV. And Marcel's like, you don't have to do all that. Of course you can get the SUV. Some BS like that. And it's just like, so you got money to buy a whole new SUV, but you're going to buy some rented furniture. Well, you're going to get some rented furniture because you can't buy rented furniture because you trying to rent it out. So you're trying to go and get some rented furniture from Aaron's. At the same time, you got enough money to go buy a truck or SUV or whatever. So I'm just over Letitia and Marcel. They a hot mess. Yeah, they're a hot mess. So we're gonna go on to the next scene. All right, in the next scene, we have Stormy and Tiffany meeting up at this lounge to work together to plan Baby Ace reveal party. Tiffany got this party planner from Craigslist. I don't know what to think. This lady is talking about some Tiffany twist and breakfast with Tiffany or breakfast at Tiffany's. She's pulling out decorations and everything like that. So I'm just confused. I thought that Stormy was supposed to, work with Tiffany to plan out the party, but she got a whole party planner there that's making all the decisions and choices, and I just didn't understand that part, but whatever. They started to talk about, their time with Letitia last time they were together and how Letitia has an RSVP'd. And Stormy says she hasn't spoken to Letitia either. Since that had happened, she just hasn't spoken to Tisha. But she's over it. She doesn't have any problems with Letitia. She said that her problem is with Marceau and Marceau acting like a female. Well, she didn't say he was acting like a female. She said bitch. That's what she said. And Tiffany's face was just like, wow, you just really took it there. And yeah, Stormy was like, yeah, he just I can't do him. I can't deal with him. He acts too much like a female for me. Just ill. The girl said ill. Absolutely disgusting. Absolutely not. Stormy says she just can't get jiggy with it. Yeah, so Tiffany let Stormy know that Kiki was coming to the baby reveal party. And Stormy was a little thrown back because she's like, hmm, that's a really intimate event, and you okay with, Kiki coming? And Tiffany trying to act like she don't know. Why would you say that? Why would you think I wouldn't be okay with, her coming? And she just like she goes into telling Stormy like how it was wild what she saw on the TV on Star Crime Stoppers, and she don't know what you got to be going through in life to even end up on Crime Stoppers. She said that she just doesn't understand Kiki's situation. There's no way to spend it. It just sounds bad. And initially before speaking to Mel about it, she didn't want no parts in the foolery. So um but she explained that Mel, helped her see things differently and convinced her to give Kiki another try. So Stormy was like, that's good, because, you gotta be, she's going through a lot right now. So Stormy was just like, I think that's a good idea, you giving her another chance. Um, but then they went ahead and in that conversation, and I really like the rest of this conversation with Tiffany and Stormy. Like, I think this is one of the first times in a while this show has brought me to tears. Stormy asks Tiffany how she was doing, and Tiffany, what I got from Tiffany is that she is feeling overwhelmed, completely overwhelmed. I could not help but notice that she said, and this is what she said. She said, my kids have like summer things going on and activities that I have to pick them up from, and they're going to be doing like buying cars. And she said all these things that her kids are doing. And then she referenced the baby. It's like she disassociated her older children from the baby, and not in like a young and older way. She separated as if the baby was like something you know detached from the family. Like it was just, the way she spoke about the baby, she spoke about it as like a nuisance. This baby needs you all the time. The baby needs you all the time. Like she just kept referencing Ace as, the baby, not, my baby. When a new mom, usually talks about her baby, she's like, my baby, things like that. But she was just saying like the baby, I don't know. Like really made me sad. And then, you know, um, Stormy looked at her and told her, it's okay to not be okay, you know, and she said it more than once to Tiffany. And Tiffany said that she received it. And I know it touched Tiffany. It definitely touched me. I feel like Stormy was definitely talking from a place of personal experience when she just had her newborn baby, Chase. And we don't talk about it enough as mothers, as moms, that, you know, it can be overwhelming. It can be overwhelming. And I saw that Tiffany put in, you know, she mentioned that, this is what I wanted. This is what I wanted. This is what I asked for. It just all seems like I can see, her energy and the darkness, hanging over her in this scene. And even Stormy was like, I can feel your energy. Like I could feel once this conversation got to this, I could feel her energy, like how overwhelmed she is, like how close to the breaking point she is. Like I feel like she's bending, 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 and about to snap. That's what I saw when she was having this conversation with Stormy. So that was like really amazing that they was able to convey that through the screen. I felt like out of all the conversations, that was one of the realest conversations that definitely needed to be had on camera. I feel like towards the end, Tiffany started to, smirk a little bit. I feel like that was a nervous smirk because I felt like she may have felt like she was showing a little bit too much of herself. It was getting a little too deep. And rightfully so, this is reality TV, so you don't want to get too deep. So I understood that, but yeah, this scene really really got me. I feel like this was one of the best scenes, and it really made me look at Stormy in a different light. Like, wow, you know what I'm saying? This woman gets it on a more personal level, and I really like that. I like the way she handled Kiki's situation too. So yeah, but I think I like Stormy now. I really like Stormy. Last season, at least season before, I thought Stormy was doing a little bit much, and I still feel like she does a bit much sometimes. But I see that she has a good heart, so she's okay in my book. But yeah, Tiffany definitely needs some help, some counseling. She definitely needs somebody to talk to that she can trust, and she needs her husband to, come back and support her. She did mention that Louis has been on the road lately, and I don't know if it's because of, the situation or, he just has to work a lot. That was a discussion prior to having the baby that, they wouldn't have enough time. So, should we be surprised? Should we really be surprised that Lewis is finding a hard time to find time for his wife and new baby? I don't think so, And Tiffany clearly is trying to do everything and not try to stop anything or slow down either. So they both just have to figure that out. Um, but yeah, we left that scene with a hug. So I really, really enjoyed that one. That was like a really good scene for me. So next scene we have Marceau and Letitia waiting on Nell and Chris for their double date. Of course, Marceau and Letitia are complaining about Nell and Chris being late, but soon they arrive and they greet each other pleasantly and sit down at the table. Nell lets us know that she's here to get answers as to why she was not invited to the expo to participate. And her and Chris are on the same page. They do not understand as to why the Scots excluded them from the expo when, they were the original power couple of Huntsville, and they've been so for the last 29 years. So they feel they have more experience, and they do. And it just didn't make sense for them to be left out. So as soon as they get over the pleasantries, Neil asks him straight up, so, how was the expo? And Marceau and Letitia both were like, it was good. We met, it was just basically some networking for business owners in Huntsville. And, I got to, meet some people I didn't even know. So it was like really nice. And, Neil was like, so you don't have a problem with, us not being there? You didn't invite us. And Marceau had a nerve to say, and act shocked, oh, you didn't feel invited? And then I was like, no, I didn't feel invited. I didn't get a personal invitation. I heard about the expo. You told me about that you were going to be doing it at Black Expo, but, you didn't personally invite me. You didn't ask me to participate at all. So, Marcel decides to take the approach that he doesn't know what Chris Fletcher or Nell does at all. And he's confused on, their professions and how they would have been, you know, helpful in the Black Expo. And they're both looking at him like he done grew foreheads. Um, he acts like he didn't know that Neil had a daycare. Um, Neil's like, well, what do you think we do? And he's like, I thought you was just Chris pretty wife. And Neil was so offended. Neil was like, I am way more than just Chris' pretty wife. And catch how she did not deny the pretty part. She said she is a business owner, successful at that. So come through now. She is not playing. She is dead serious. Chris also added that, they're the original black couple, power couple of Huntsville for the last 29 years. And Tisha and Marceau, they can't even catch up, but they can try, So they just felt really disrespectful in the moment. And Nell was just looking at him like, boy, you is a lie. Boy, you is a absolute liar. And Marcel said, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to, exclude you. I just didn't know what you do. And Nell said, okay, I can take that, but I don't believe you. And Marcel was like, you know, and this whole time, Tisha just been acting like a fly on the wall. She hasn't added anything else to this conversation because she know her husband is full of you know what. So he eventually comes clean and says, you know what? The real reason why I didn't invite you to the expo is because you're friends with the Holtz and Melody brought you into the fold. And I just didn't feel like it was, best for me to work with you because you were friends with the Holtz. And Nell was just like, it has to be because of Melody because y'all still friends with Martell. So, if that's how y'all do business, that's how y'all do. It's very childish, very high school, very college. But if that's how you handle things, okay, whatever. And Letitia's like, no, 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 that's not how we handle things. It's just that situation. It's very sensitive, and was just like, girl. And then, Chris just changed the subject and was just like, I know that you guys were trying to get the combat group together. Did everything come together? They started talking about who spoke and who didn't. And Neil was like, well, I already know that, Melody and Martell did not participate because y'all wasn't trying to pay nobody. And here we go. Marcel really did show his female ways here because he really got catty. I feel like he felt snubbed by Melody the last time they were together at the comeback group meeting about the Black Expo and her declining to participate in it. That he started to talk about, some people don't deserve to, get paid. They're not in business long enough and their businesses are not successful enough, haven't been, you know, running long enough to contribute to anything. Plus, he's not paying anyone to speak that only has a t-shirt business. And when I tell you, when he said that, Nell and Chris' face was just like, I know you lying. And he just went on and on about how, he basically doesn't respect, you know, basically Melody. He was really coming for Melody here. Chris was like, you're not going to sit here and shade the Holtz. Okay. Nell was completely disgusted. Chris was like, Holt Enterprise was very successful and was around for a very long time. You was partners with them, right? That's what Neil added. Like, how can they be so unprofessional and not worthy of giving advice when you was working with them. I'm confused. And then he had nerve to say, um, where are they now? And Nell said, wow, that's very, very low. And Chris was like, Black also sell T-shirts online, so I'm just confused. Why you attacking Melody for selling shirts when you sell shirts too? It just didn't make any sense. Neil added in the confessionals that Mel does a lot more than just selling T-shirts, and Marceau knows that. And what he did was absolute shade, and it was uncalled for, and just really stupid of him to even try to tear Melody down or suggest that she's not a real businesswoman. It was just really disgusting to see. So I guess because her husband really put his foot in his mouth and sounded a hot mess, um, and Marceau, he already knew he messed up, so he just decided to go ahead and apologize to the Fletchers and say, I do appreciate that you guys, when you had a problem, you immediately addressed it. That's what we need and liked. So next time we'll handle that differently. We didn't know what you did. Um, just a bunch of BS. But Chris and Neld accept their apology because I'm sure they don't want to come in with any issues. They're pretty new to the cast, and they don't want to come in with any issues really. So they accept the apology and just moved on. Tisha decided to just go all the way off topic and ask Nell and Chris if they had dealt with infidelity in their marriage. And Nell and Chris both was like, yes, they have. And then Tisha was like, who did it? How did you find out? And Marcel was like, whoa, 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 what? Wait, why are we having this conversation? And Nell was about to, spill all the tea on her own business. I'm not gonna lie, I typically don't agree with Marcel, but I was a little taken back by Tisha's question as well. Truthfully, though, Tisha just hasn't been making a lick of sense to me. So I don't know why I'm surprised that she just seems so random with this question um, about infidelity. Kristen now don't know if she's trying to throw jabs, throw shade at their 29 years of marriage, or she just she reaching out for help. She needs to vent. She needs to talk to somebody. She needs to make her infidelity in her marriage okay. She needs somebody to say, this is normal behavior and this is what's to be expected in a long marriage. And don't worry, if your husband is cheating on you or if there's infidelity in your marriage in any type of way. This is normal behavior. There's no need to end your marriage because of infidelity. You can get through this. You're not the only one, and you're not alone. Okay, that's what she was expecting at the end of that conversation. But Marceau, denied access to that. He said, "No, ma'am, you will have to suffer in silence on this because won't nobody know what I do to you behind closed doors." Okay, so yeah, eat that up, champ. So yeah, we ended the scene that way, with Nell and Chris just looking at Marceau and Tisha like a bowl of hot mess. So we're gonna move on to the next scene with Tiffany. It is the big day of the breakfast with Tiffany and Ace. And I must say, Tiffany looks gorgeous walking in. Her hair is blowing in the wind. I love her dress. So I'm just so excited for her to, finally get to show off her new baby. So when she walks into the space, I'm upset with her. I'm upset for her. I'm just annoyed. what is going on? Nothing is together. The balloon's not up, the table's not up, the food not out. It's just a hot mess. She asks the party planner what she can do. The party planner had nerve to say, just look pretty. And I mean, nothing is done. This is just ridiculous and unacceptable. She asks the lady what's going on, and the lady has a nerve to, snap at her. Like, it's been raining all day. Ma'am, you have a business. You should have been prepared for anything to happen. You should have been locking the doors or something. Something needed to be done to not allow her guests to come in and you're not finished. This is just like I said, y'all, she got this party planner from Craigslist or something. I don't know what is going on. She, when Stormy arrives, Stormy is looking at it the same way. I see it as if, what is going on up in here? Nothing is done. Stormy's putting on gloves. She's ready to help because she's actually trying to help Tiffany.
Yes, so she is just trying to help Tiffany, and um, it's just too late. People are coming in. Kimmy gets there first, and Kimmy is looking around like, again, what in the is going on? Kimmy says, I'm not late or anything. So what is all the food? Where's the decorations? Nothing is up. So everybody's sentiment is the same, but they're really not trying to make Tiffany feel too bad about it, which is really good because, like we said in the last scene, Tiffany's already overwhelmed. And I feel like if it was me, this would have took me to the breaking point. I would have been flipping over tables. That lady would have had to get out my face. I would have I would have just fired her right then and there. I would have been so upset, especially if I'm going through all this and alone. My husband's not here. It's just a lot for Tiffany to deal with. And for this lady to just not come through for Tiffany and do what she's supposed to do, that just rubbed me the wrong way. It just really made me so upset for Tiffany. But yeah, Kimmy came in. She was very pleasant. The next person that came was Mel. And Mel came in. She spoke to Stormy and the group. Tell me why Stormy did not respond back to this lady and say hello back. It was just like, girl. But yeah, Mel did not let that bother her. She just let it roll off her shoulder. And she's like, sometimes people don't really want to speak. I'm not going to let it bother me. Again, this side of Mel I really, really like. She just like being very, very mature about everything. And I really like that. I can really see the growth in her. Um, so after they had that the hellos and everything like that, Stormy gets into her issues with Marceau at the expo. And Melody said she didn't even know that there was an issue at the expo. And Kimmy's like, well, I didn't know at the time either. I didn't even know that we had to pay for the booth. And Maurice told me that we actually paid as well. So, yeah. And Tiffany's like, well, I hope she got enough money to, really do something for the community because we thought she was doing everything for free. So, yeah. So, after that, Kimmy and Stormy and Nell and Melody went to their own separate areas to have private conversations. Kimmy and Stormy started to talk about Tisha and if Stormy had, squashed everything with Tisha yet. And Stormy just let her know that, she's over it. She doesn't have any issues with Letitia. And then Kimmy was like, well, that was really a lot that happened last time in the last conversation. She was like, well, I was really heated, but now I have it deflated now. I am calm. And Kimmy's like, are you going to stay calm if she comes? If Letitia comes to the party? And Stormy's like, yeah, I mean, why not? Why wouldn't I? It seems like this is a child's party. And at the end of the day, she's not really trying to start anything. She's been trying to help Tiffany, so she's not really trying to get into anything right now. And then we go to Nell and Melody, and they just have a really cute exchange. Melody telling her that she's going to stop by the daycare and see her, and Nell is just so cute, and she's like, "Come by tomorrow, I'll be there." So it's really nice that they're continuing to grow their friendship, and it gets on the conversation of Nell and Chris meeting up with Letitia and Marceau at the restaurant, and them going over why they were not invited to the expo. And Nell let her know that because of her friendship with Melody, that was the reason why she was excluded from the expo. And Mel was just like, that's a bunch of BS. I find it funny how it's okay for you to come to Black and spend your money and your time in their establishment, but because you are friends with me, they can't include you in this. It just does not make any sense. Um, and Nell agreed, and at that time, and she just let Mel know that she decided to move forward with the Skies and accept their apology and not hold it against them about not being invited to the expo. And then she said that she wanted to tell Mel what Marcel was saying, and the way that Marcel was disrespecting Melody and basically saying that all she does is she sell T-shirts, and she really didn't have anything to offer as far as knowledge. And if anyone was going to get paid, it would have been Maurice or Stormy, because they have established businesses that has been in service for several years and successful, and they have the experience and knowledge to share with the community. And when I say I saw the Scorpio activate in Melody, she was completely heated and went to read Marceau for complete filth. I loved every minute of it. Melody stated that she just finds it funny that Marceau says that he doesn't want to work with her or don't find her worthy of sharing any type of information when he is sitting there with a $5 million lawsuit for alleged fraud hanging over his head. Melody stated that she has been doing business um, since 2008. Okay. And if he really wants to take shots and get disrespectful, she is willing and more than able to go blow to blow with him. Instead of trying to check her pockets and wonder about her business credentials, he should be thanking her for all the checks she has put in his pocket, and that it is because of her and her dreams that he and his family is eating more than leftover popcorn from the movie theater. And he should be happy about that and more thankful that she gave him this opportunity. She also stated that, Tisha is over there selling those ugly ass mugs. So they're no strangers to selling merchandise. I mean, they have those shirts with the word Black stamped across. So, she has put several checks in Marcel's pocket, and you know what it means when someone says several. Okay, that's just too many to count. Okay, she just finds it very pathetic and absurd that these black men continue to belittle and attack black women that are successful and try to discredit, their business and what they do. And when I tell you I could not agree more, I was over here cheering at the TV when Mel was going in on Marceau because somebody has to say it. This woman is phenomenal, and for him to deny that is to be foolish, be completely foolish. Um, Melody is a absolute beast, okay? And Marshall just felt really butthurt that she did not want to participate in his little black expo. And honestly, it's good that she did not. He had a lot of foolery going on around that expo. And, Mel just does not have enough time. And one thing that Marcel needs to understand is that um, Melody doesn't have one job. She has several, okay? And we've already discussed what that word means, several, okay? And she's a busy woman. She doesn't have time for the foolishness, okay? And clearly that's what Marcel comes with. A lot of foolishness, a lot of chaos and confusion. And this whole time that Mel is going in on Marceau, you can just see Nell's face. She is sitting there smirked up like a proud parent. She is just loving this attack that Melody is giving Marceau right now. And honestly, I just cannot wait until, Melody approaches Marceau or has an opportunity to have this conversation on this topic face to face. You just know that Mel's going to come with that fire because she just feels completely disrespected by Marceau and just cannot understand why her name was even brought up and even discussed it in this matter, especially when she is very much so a successful businesswoman. I mean, how can you act like she did not deserve or could not contribute to speaking? She has her own master class. Like, be for real, Marcel. Be for real. Okay? Um, it was just absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, that's the way they ended this scene. Now, know that she has no problem saying any of this in their faces. She plans to tell Marcel about himself the next time she sees him. And I know that Neil is taking Melody very much seriously, and she is just happy. Um, she is just so happy and proud of Mel and the way Mel just verbally assaulted Marcel. Like, sir, please go somewhere and sit down. Um, I don't know who he thinks he's talking to. I feel like he confused all women with his wife, who allows him to walk and stomp and wipe his feet off on her like a doormat. And these women are not going to stand up for that. But yeah, that actually concluded the episode, season 7, episode 2, Saw Ladylike. And I must say, the title of the episode was very fitting. Marcel was very catty and immature in this episode, and the way he spoke about Mel. And we shall see what happens next. Go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a thing. Until next time.